We humans, we're animals. I don't understand where the indifference comes from. Well, I do. Misinformation, fear, control, lies. All from those trying to hide the truth. Because if we knew the truth, then we would truly know what we're capable of. Who we are, what we are, why we're here. I mean, the reason why we are animals. They used fear to keep us in a state, right, of fear. This works as the natural nervous system of animals, right? So let's just start with fear. When an animal is in a state of fear, what's its reaction? It's to get out of there. To run, hide, get safe, get secure. Not be in a position of fight or flight, life or death, or immense stress. When the animal is in that state of being, it's not thinking, it's surviving, it's purely running off reactive instincts to keep it alive. And let's look at it from the hunter's perspective. Say you're a rabbit running away, or there's a rabbit running away. After a while of watching rabbits run away, you start to figure out how they react to running away or defending themselves, or all of their ways that they've evolved to survive. Whether that's to fight, whether that's to stand their ground, whether that's to run, whether that's to hide, whether that's to be deceptive and tricksy in the sense of yeah, animals are like that too. These coping mechanisms to survive, right? They're patterns. They're, unless trained and given a lot more utensils to work with, like skills, then your reactions become predictable, limited, the same. If I do this, they do that. If I do this, they do that. Or they do these things. And that limits it down very, very easily for control. Now you see, if you're trying to control something unpredictable, you realise that you cannot control it as easily, is the key point, because we're not supposed to control anything other than ourselves. That is it. Who are you to say you have the right over another life, another soul, another domain? To be honest, that's my opinion with it. Who do you think you are that you dictate their life, their fate, their way of living, their freedom, their compassion, their love? All of the above. What makes you think you have that power? It's them. Those that need this authority to survive. Those that don't want to do the work themselves, so they delegate it to others. But they don't just delegate it. They exhaust it until there's nothing left. Like the forests, like the oceans, like the animals, like the plants, like the minerals, like us as the species, our own species, humans. We exploit everything, and this is not all of us. This is not all of us. This is just the wall pulled over our eyes, that exploitation is okay. That's a way of living. That keeps the earth going round, the cycles continuing, the seeds scattering. No, it does not. Exploiting takes the seeds from the soil, so they can't sprout in the first place. They can't grow in the first place. They can't ground themselves. They can't grow roots. As above, so below. In a foundation perspective of a building, that is the most important part. You can be a big tree, but if you've got little roots, you don't even need the wind. But yeah, a little gust of wind. It's the same with a building. The foundations are weak. The whole thing crumbles. It's that simple. It's why they focus on you not having a foundation. It's why they focus on making you believe that your foundation is built up by others and needs to be helped and built by others. So that they can control you. I've learned this. The reason why they've made us reliant by giving us all our needs so easily on hand is because if we haven't got to go out and get anything, let's keep it simple. For a long time, where have we got our food? From the shops, from trading, for most of us. That equals reliancy on where we eat, where we get our food, our nutrients. So that's one reliance that can have control over us and make us not be who we are, stand on our own ground, make the choices that we want to make, do the things that we want to do, or say no when we want to say no. That's the first one, is food. The second one, shelter. They make you believe that you need their home, not a home. Shelter's very important, but a caveman knows you can just find a cave. You can make a house. You can make a shelter. The animals know. They just dig a burrow. All they do is dig a hole under a tree, or find a hole, or find this and find that. Put things together. They know that. They know they don't need to slave away to pay to live. Because they prefer the hole. The horse prefers the field than the circle it walks around churning our grapes for wine. The same for the donkey. They both prefer to be in an open field, not fenced in. We've lost the natural rule of fairly give, fairly take. I've learned this, the 1/3 rule. I don't even know I still think that's too much. I feel like that's about maximising what you can take. Then that's going to exploitation still, in my opinion, because you're trying to maximise how much you can take, when really you only need to get what you need. Maybe some more for others. You don't see anything in nature really hoarding without a purpose. I say that because squirrels come to mind. They hoard nuts and acorns and seeds. Yeah, they're hoarders, but why are they hoarders? Funnily enough, 80% of the nuts and seeds that they bury, they don't find again. And do you know what's funny about that? That means 80% of the food they gathered goes back into giving life somewhere else. So they're practical hoarders, you know? They're not hoarding the seeds in bags or in jars or in their cupboards. They're putting them in the ground where they can grow into more. They're nourishing soil, moving seed. Like, the tree can't walk, but the squirrel can. This is how nature works together. Plants talk through frequencies. I've done enough research. They put 3 different plants. They put a bunch of plants in 3 different boxes. One box, they turned the oxygen off, the CO2, so they had no air. After about 10-15 minutes, the plants started communicating with each other. Look, boys, look, girls, the oxygen's low. The CO2 is low. We need to conserve a bit because we don't know when the next is coming. Intellectual, that is. We think we're, you know what I mean? The illusion. You know, if you know, you know. You don't. This doesn't. I'm talking as a collective, and that's not to stereotype anything. That's just the balance. The balance isn't 50-50. It is not that. It is not that. And that's why I'm speaking like this. Just to be direct to those that it needs to be direct to. Those that agree, feel no, the mirror does not burn, does it? That's why you're still here. The mirror burns only those that don't like to see their own reflection. That is all.